Hello and welcome, guys. We are back with some more Amulet. This time we are off of Garrick Relentless. I think that the card is quite fun, but if you are looking for gameplay of the most optimized build of Amulet, then I think what I have here is a pretty good start. We are doing a little bit of something different today. Today we've got the third copy of Tolaria West as a 31st land. And to go along with that, we've included a mainboard engineered explosives and the pack mitigation in the sideboard. You'll know if you follow my videos for some time that I'm not a big fan of having either of these cards in the main. I did play engineered explosives for a while back when Luris was at the top of the meta because everyone was playing all these haste creatures and death shadows and all of that, but sometimes engineered explosives can be a liability. However, since today we have access to 3 copies of Tolaria West, in addition to the 1 explosives, that gives us 4 outs to mainboard things like Meddling Mage, or just anything that we want to blow up with engineered explosives. It has a wide variety of uses, so I'm not going to try to summarize it all here. We'll just have to see if it becomes relevant in gameplay. And then as for the pack mitigation in the sideboard, I'm not sure that this is actually better than a 3rd Mystical Dispute, but that is the reason that we are playing it. Again, with these Tolaria Wests, we have more of a toolbox at our disposal. We can either get our Summoner's Pact, in order to cast our Titan. We can get Engineered Explosives to blow up problematic permanents, or we can go for a pack negation to set up a kill with protection, or to prevent ourselves from getting blown out by something like a Karn Liberated, or one of those types of scenarios where having the backup counterspell can be relevant. It can even be relevant against control decks where, say, we could get a Cavern of Souls, but in order to get a Titan out, we actually have to resolve a Summoner's Pact first, and we want to play around like some kind of counterspell on our Summoner's Pact, say like a Force of Negation. Pact of Negation can be good in those situations instead of Cavern of Souls, for example. So, yeah, we'll just have to see what comes along. I did consider playing a copy of Fierce Empath, but I decided that the flexibility of transmuting Tolaria West for something other than a Primeval Titan is just too great. I saw F. Paulus just recently playing a list with a World Breaker in the sideboard, a 7-mana Devoid spell, destroys artifacts or enchantments when it comes into play, or lands, I think, as well. The only issue with that is, while you can kind of invent sort of a toolbox with your Fierce Empaths, I don't particularly think that World Breaker is that good of a card on its own. It's not really the kind of card that I'm looking to play on my sideboard, so yeah, that's why I'm opting to play the Tolaria West over, say, a Fierce Empath. Everything else is pretty stock. Everything else is exactly the same number that I've almost always played it. We've got the 1 Azusa, we've got the 4 Grazers, all that stuff. I did cut a copy of Ancient Stirrings and a copy of Sakura Tribe Scout in order to fit the explosives and the Tolaria West. So yeah, we'll see how that treats us. Anyways, let's just jump right into the games. Actually, you can see F. Paulus here on the leaderboard with 2 trophies. Pretty cool. I wonder what decks he trophied with. Alright. Can we be on the play, though? We shall see. We are not on the play. And this is an interesting hand. I think it's a mulligan. Our Ancient Stirrings is not going to find us any ramp. And otherwise, we're 1 land away from Titan mana, but Amulet doesn't really do much for this hand. We can't transmute Tolaria West unless we draw like a Growth Chamber or something, or a Dryad. It's just missing too much. Ooh. This is a weird hand, but I'm going to keep it. My plan is to go turn 1 Valakut, turn 2 Vestige into Explore, so we can pick up the Vestige and be able to do it again the turn after, and I think that'll set us up well enough. We can afford to bottom a Grazer here, I think. It'll be a little unfortunate if we're against an aggressive deck, but we need all of our lands, and we want both of these Explorers because they're going to draw us into more action, so... Uh-oh. Okay, that's actually really good. So now we can go Vestige into Grazer. Which I suppose we could have done anyways, but... yeah. Well, things are not looking good for our extra Talari West in the deck. Ooh, this plays really poorly around a Ghost Quarter. Maybe I should have thought about that. Never mind. They never have it. Why do I even worry about it? Ooh, and a Dryad. Would I rather play a Dryad or get this Explore going? I think it's got to be Dryad. Yeah, I'm gonna just jam the creature here. And we'll play, I guess, Boros Garrison. We don't really want to show them that we have the Valakut in hand. And this way, if we top deck, there's nothing really that we can top deck here that rewards us for picking up the Vestige, I think. I mean, we could play a 3-drop and an Explorer, potentially. That's kind of funny. I'm pretty sure all my lands are already entering tapped. And this doesn't interact with Amulet at all, which is interesting to me. Let's see. Let's go ahead and cast this Explore, I guess. I'm gonna float. Nah, there's no reason to float the blue because we can't transmute, so. Vesuva. Okay. So we could play Valakut Vesuva here, but I'm actually gonna go ahead and Vestige to get this other Explorer out of the way. And we might go with the Valakut Vesuva play after this. Yeah. I think that's just gonna have to be the plan. Get these guys out early and fast. Oh, wait, actually, we get a land trigger here. And by one, I mean several. So this definitely worked out. I wasn't mathing out my land drops here. And again, we have the secret mode of just playing a Dryad and playing lands. Just coming in, doing its work. We only saw a few cards from our opponent. We know they're on Eldrazi temples, so I'm anticipating something like Thought-Knot Seer. We might want Dismember as well. They're probably playing Aether Vials, and maybe Explosives are right, but I'm not sure quite how good Explosives is. I think Rex Age is going to be good. Dismembers are most probably going to be fine. So I'll bring them in. I like Tracker. Beast Within is interesting. So, on more of a Death and Taxes style deck, they're likely to be on Thought-Knot Seers, but not Reality Smashers. I know sometimes Black-White Eldrazi Taxes plays a couple smashes, but it's definitely more seldom than often. Baloth could be good. I'm not sure exactly. I think Baloth is going to be fine as an intermediary threat. And maybe I want the Explosives too. And if we have more stuff we want to cut, perhaps Beast Within can come in. I don't know whether I should assume they're actually splashing red or not. I know they had several lands in play. One of them was the Canopy land. I don't know if they had another red-white land. Let's see. See Sunbaked Canyon coming into play. Whatever. They could be splashing red. I don't really know what they would be splashing red for. The first card that comes to my mind, interestingly enough, is Harsh Mentor. I don't know if that's a card they would be playing. Let's see. So we can definitely cut a few Summoners Pacts, for sure. Cut Ace Stirring seems fine. Explorers could be a little slow. Maybe not, though. But if they play Thalia, it gets punished pretty hard. Let's see, what else? Can trim perhaps one Amulet. Amulet seems like it would be pretty good against them, though. Could be Azusa, but I don't mind Azusa in a matchup like this, because they're unlikely to kill it. Let's make it... We could actually trim the third Talari West, since it doesn't play very well around Arbiter. I don't think that's going to be necessary, though. Let's just trim another stirrings and run it like this. We could also potentially have swapped out a dismember for something else. And only played 2 dismembers, which I don't hate. This hand just needs a green bounce land, and then it's looking pretty tight. Can I rely on drawing a green source? Because if we draw even one green source, then this tracker can get into play and start making clues for us. We can play around a Arbiter plus Ghost Quarter type lock because we have the Dismember, and we have a turn 1 Amulet, so I think it's really close. I'm going to keep it, I think. And they apparently mulliganed to 6. Battlefield Forge. Maybe that's the land they had in play. Hey, that's a green source. Are we going turn 1 Grazer or turn 1 Amulet? I'm gonna go with turn 1 Grazer, because that way we can get our tracker in on turn 3 if we want to. This is not gonna hold up Dismember, but I don't think that we need access to Dismember here, unless they Simian Spirit Guide out a Arbiter and then play a Ghost Quarter. There's nothing that punishes us. We could easily be playing against a Blood Moon here. That would suck pretty much. But I mean, if we Vesuva'd our forest, we'd be able to play around that, and we'd also be able to hold up Dismember, but I think it's going to be better to get the tracker into play. Maybe not, though, because they could just kill the tracker, and we wouldn't get any value out of it at all. I think it's better to get it into play, because then we have a threat underneath a possible Blood Moon if they have it. And we already have 1 basic in play, so... Although, we are going to want a second basic, since we are down to, I believe, 2 Summoners Packs now. I can actually double-check that by viewing the sideboard. We boarded out 2 Summoners Packs, so we do have 2 Summoners Packs still in deck. Yep, there's that removal spell. And they did have a Ghost Quarter, so this turn they could have played into a line where they had a Leon and Arbiter paired with that Ghost Quarter. Interesting. So I'm gonna lead off on Stirrings, I guess, and we'll see what we see. So if we take the Tolaria West, we can Vesuva copying our Tolaria West, and then next turn be able to transmute it into something. Probably a bounce land if we were to go along that route. And then we can play Amulet and hold up Dismember this turn as well. And that seems pretty safe, although if they just Thought Not Seer away our Primeval Titan, we don't really have a plan. If they do that, though, then we can Tolaria West for a Summoners Pack instead. Yeah, I think Tolaria West is going to be the best pick here. And yeah, I'll go ahead and Vesuva this guy. Although I probably should have played the Amulet first. Not like it makes a huge difference. Play our Amulet now, and we'll pass. Let's see what they've got over there. Feels like a Thought Not Seer to me. Yep. Do we Dismember this on the stack? I think that we do, actually. Because otherwise, this guy might outrace us if we don't happen to find another Titan. We could draw Summoners Pact, and then what they take here doesn't really matter. Or we could draw the 3rd Tolaria West. Okay, sure. We only have, 2 Tolaria West and 2 in hand. No big deal. Don't worry about it at all. So we are definitely transmuting. I think it's probably just a bounce land here. Unfortunately, there's no way we can set up our mana so that we can transmute a 2nd Tolaria West this turn. Alternatively, we could Tolaria West for Summoner's Pact and plan to cast a Titan this upcoming turn because we get a land drop. It's more proactive. It doesn't play around another Thought Not Seer, but it does actually play around a Leonin Arbiter, so... And if I play the Tolaria West, then we guaranteed Titan mana, but if they are able to take our Summoner's Pact, we'll have to draw a bounce land. I don't think that's a risk I'm willing to take. I'd rather have the ability to transmute this Tolaria West next turn if I have to. So I'm gonna play this way. And there's a Thought Knot. You got it. Now I'm glad I didn't play out this Tolaria West. Arboreal Grazer. Not really doing the trick for me here. I'm going to go ahead and transmute now, since we don't really have an alternative. I mean, here we could get a bounce land and play it, and pick up a Tolaria West, and that way next turn we have, say, a Simic Growth Chamber and the Tolaria West to transmute, and 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. Well, we would have 5 mana with a Grazer. If we top deck another Grazer, then we'd be able to cast a Titan this upcoming turn, but we already have one in play. Feels weird, but I'm going to just get the Sonus Pact. That way if we top deck a land, then we have it. I think it's more likely we top deck a land than top deck something next turn if we try to set up for transmuting next turn. There's another Thought Knot here. Well, yeah. Well, now we want to top deck a bounce land, I guess. Yeah, we'll throw this guy under the bus. I don't see a reason why not to. Alright, Ghost Quarters, not my favorite top deck here. I'm gonna continue to hold on to this Grazer, I think. 8, so we'd go down to 7, up to 9. That would let us, if we draw a bounce land, it would let us transmute and play a Titan in the same turn, so by holding the Grazer. Alright, deck. Deliver a bounce land. Okay. Well, we're playing this. And I guess we're targeting... I don't think it matters. We can probably sideboard out the Bajuka Bog, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Here's this guy. Yep. And now we're just Thought Knot Seer locked with this Displacer. Oh. Or we're just dead. Yeah, we can go ahead and concede this game. Interesting game there. I feel like something went wrong. I don't know if that's an accurate description. Sonus Pact doesn't actually seem that terrible, but maybe 2 is the number that we want. We can definitely get rid of this Bog. I don't think it matters at all. And it might be wise to bring in a Beast Within. A little unclear. Still not sure about the Reclamation Sage, since they still haven't shown us a vial, but they might very well have it. Do we want additional Beast Withins? Or Ancient Stirrings? Stirrings? Nah. I'm gonna submit it like this. We're definitely not gonna miss the Bajuka Bog at all. Although I guess it taps for black for dismembering purposes, but yeah, we'll play first. This is a interesting hand for sure. Don't really mind it. It doesn't really have a fast plan, but it has a plan. And we have a Dismember to break up a Thought Knot Seer type loop. Yeah, I'll keep it. Play Garen Break first, so we can play a 1-drop if we happen to top deck an Arboreal Grazer or something. Well, that's an Amulet. I'll play that out. And there's no reason to expose our Sanctuary, so here goes a Field of the Dead. Now if they have Simian Spirit Guide, we can blow out their Ghost Quarter plan here. Okay. Interesting. This destroys a colorless non-land permanent. So this would kill our Amulet. Do we even care about that? I don't think that we do, actually. So let's play out our Sanctuary. We'll return, I guess, the field. We'll play our Dryad. And then we'll play the field. So next turn... Oh, I guess I could have played a second Dryad this turn if I had played the Garrison. I don't know why I tunnel visioned into that. Oh well. Passing back. Nothing to do about it now. Now if they want to pay a mana double up our Amulet, that's fine, I guess. Oh, yeah. We'll definitely take a basic land here for sure. Let's get snow covered. It's covered in snow. What's not to like about that? We'll take our 2 damage. It's meager work, but it does the job. Blowing up the Amulet. You got it. We're not really relying on it anymore, so... Kalari West is an interesting one. If we play Garrison, pick up a forest, and replay the forest, we can actually transmute Kalari West this turn with a Dryad. I don't know if that's going to be the play, though. We're definitely playing Dryad. If we transmute Talari West now, then we get blown out by Thought-Knot Seer. Otherwise, we're doing nothing, though. So, as much as I don't like playing into Thought-Knot Seer, we also could just top deck... We also could just top deck another Titan and blow out the Thought-Knot Seer anyways, so... You know, actually, I didn't consider it, but we could have gotten Valakut there. I don't know what that might have done. It doesn't do much in the face of their Ghost Quarter, admittedly. Or we just win the match. Never hate to see that. They probably knew that they couldn't beat a Primeval Titan. Although, I wonder if they realized they had the Ghost Quarter on the battlefield, because I feel like that could have done something. It wouldn't have stopped us from playing Titan, since we had a green source and the Garen Brig, so getting a basic force from the Ghost Quarter would have allowed us to play our Titan anyways. But it could have hit a Valakut, perhaps? I don't know, though. Anyways, yeah, that was an interesting matchup. I don't really know exactly how Game 2 played out the way that it did. It was just kind of awkward the whole time, which I guess is what their game plan is intending. They want it... I mean, also them drawing almost all the Thought-Knot Seers in their deck is pretty good. And then having the Displacer to follow to complete the lock. Anyways, yeah. Generally, these kinds of matchups are pretty good for Amulet, so I'm not that surprised. Well, anyways, if you like this content, go ahead and leave a like and a subscribe, and I will be back for more. This was just match 1. There's still 4 more matches to come, so I will see you for the next one real soon. This is Redface Menace, signing off.